everyone, this is Izzy from Structurally. I am back with another vlog. And this week I'm going to talk about a topic that's not as tech heavy, but I've been seeing it come up a lot. And so this is being a customer first agent. So what that means is, for example, where I live, I see a lot of billboards and um, park benches and benches that say hi, I'm John Doe and I sell I sold 1 million houses in 2 weeks. Obviously that's an exaggeration, but I see a lot of that, and that is what is not customer first. So I was reading through Inman earlier this week, and I kept seeing the same topic come up in different articles, and so I dug into it. And it's really interesting because, and I'll go through some of these articles that I found super interesting in a second, but I had my own experience recently with a realtor I met here locally. And, I was talking to him and I'm like, hey, Joe, how are you so successful? Like what do you do that brings you where you are today? And, he said, I put my customers first. This is about my customers, not just about the transaction. And he, I asked him for a few examples, and he went on to say, I take them out to dinner. I meet them for coffee. I am there physically at everything I can be to help them through the process. And then after the process, I'm still taking them out to lunch. So after the transaction is done, he's going out of his way to still meet with them and have this connection with them. Birthday cards, birthday gifts. He also said that when they've been in their house for the first year, he'll stop by with a bottle of champagne to celebrate. And I thought that was so cool, because putting myself in the shoes of the consumer, my husband might sell our house someday, and when he was telling me that, it automatically made me trust him because I know he cares about me. And that is what this is all about, is putting the customer first before the transaction, and being through there as much as you can instead of just doing the bare minimum to get through all the steps. So a few things I wanna talk about. I was reading through this article that talked about some really cool customer first techniques some agents around the country have been using. And I just wanted to bring some of these up because I thought they were really interesting. Might not always apply to you, but who knows? Maybe it sparks some ideas in your head for any listings you have. So one realtor in Illinois had essentially what sounds like a farmhouse in rural Illinois, and the sellers were craftspeople, so very interested in crafting. So what he did was he sent out a message on Facebook to all his friends, and had people share it. If there's anyone that's interested in participating in a craft fair, come on over to this house. He's going to put this craft fair together with local artisans. He got food trucks, and so essentially turned it in to a craft fair where people could also, that were visiting the craft fair, could also walk through the house. And it was great because it showed the house, got people to the house to look at the house. It also was an awesome way to gain referrals, because he was talking to people that had similar interests as the sellers, and was able to get referrals that way, and eventually sell the house. So I thought that was just a really cool way to he showed that he knew his clients really well, and I thought that was super cool, because he just went above and beyond to what he really needed to. I mean, he could have just posted the listing, kept a couple updated, but he really went above and beyond, to say, hey, I'm going to do something that is of interest to you, that plays with what your hobbies and interests are, to be able to sell this house. So I thought that was a really, really cool example. This other realtor in California, what she did was, in 2008 during the recession, she had a client that wanted to sell their house which was the most expensive property in the area at the time, and it had a really awesome pool. And so she knew she really kind of had to go above and beyond, especially during the recession. So she threw a really big pool party to really showcase one of the house's nicest feature. Um, and built referrals, put the customer's needs first. The customer needed to sell this, that she wanted to showcase the property. She really put herself out there to do this. So I thought that was a really cool idea. She could have just put the listing online again, but by going above and beyond and really putting her time and effort into this customer and into their house, she was able to sell it quickly, got referrals, and I thought that was super neat. And then, so the other thing too, another personal tidbit. So my mom is a realtor in Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. And a few months ago when I was down there, I met with a few of her realtor friends. And, I asked them, hey, what are your pain points in real estate? What are some things that are just hard for you? And, they were naming a few things, marketing and following up with leads, but the other thing they mentioned is keeping tabs of the clients after the transaction. And so this is going to be my tidbit on using technology to do that. So there is a new platform out there that is launching this month called Client Giant, which I just read about, and I think it's super neat. So essentially what it is, it's a service that you pay the service, and depending on what you want, and I will talk about it here, they have different levels of packages, depending on what you want. But for example, they have their basic package that essentially they will handle all that lead or that client follow-up after the transaction, to also keep you in mind, and everything is branded by you, so they don't brand anything themselves. It's not coming from Client Giant. Theoretically, it's coming from you. They're just executing. So one thing I thought was really cool is sending your clients boxes and tape and other moving supplies. So they offer this in one of their packages, and I thought that was really neat, because that just kind of shows like, hey, I know that you're going to need this, and I know I don't have to, but here's something that's really useful. It goes above and beyond just like a gift card at the end. And then they do other things like professional services, so like sending out handyman, cleaners, gardeners to the house, a celebratory dinner for two a month after the sale, so includes transportation to and from dinner. So these are really cool things that you can do through this service, that will essentially come from you, that keep you at the top of the mind of the client even after the transaction. So that I thought was really neat. And then the other thing, if you are like my friend Joe, who really enjoys doing that stuff in person, he wants to take the clients out to dinner himself, then this is going to be my another tidbit for technology. Use it on the other stuff, AI to follow up with your leads, for example, CRM, so you can spend less time doing that stuff manually, and have that all automated, so you can spend more time doing those personal interactions with your clients before, during, after, like Joe does. So that's free marketing right there, offering those services. Also, as far as using tech goes to offer services, good value propositions to make yourself stand out from other agents, is offer services like drones. If client is selling their house, free drone service, take photos. There's a app called Matterport, which essentially does a 3D rendering of a house, so you can put that on the listing. It's really cool because it does like a whole 3D tour of the house, which is neat to see, using AI. So things like that, and adding that to your toolbox of, hey, this is why I'm different. I offer you all these services for free because I care about you. I want, to go above and beyond for you. You definitely don't have to, but it definitely stands out that you putting the customer first and their needs and what they would like to stand apart from the competition. Um, so yeah, that was a little bit of a rant on um, putting the customer first, but it is something that it need, just like with technology and adopting technology, adopting that methodology of putting the customer first is just a sure way. You're getting great marketing, from that, because you're getting good referrals. People trust you more. People are going to be more apt to tell you to their friends, hey, Joe took me out for dinner, here's an Instagram of us, he goes above and beyond. That's free marketing, free exposure. And um, it honestly just builds rapport. And so I really wanted to bring that up because I think that I know there's a lot of you doing that right now, and you love it and you take pride in it, and then there's others that want to figure out how they can do that, how they can get the time to do that, but know that it's important, and others that haven't ventured into that way of thinking yet. But I'm here to tell you, I think it's really important. As a consumer myself, I trust Joe. I want him to sell our house. Not because I think he's a great realtor. I mean, he is, but because I know he puts me first and goes above and beyond. So just thought for the day. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.